Hi, my name is Mr. D, and today I want to take a look at how to use the point-slope form equation. So we have, find an equation of the line that has a slope of -3 and passes through the point 4, -7. So for this problem we're going to use the point-slope form equation, and just to identify the pieces of this equation, xy would represent all of the points on our line, where x1, y1 is the known point that was given to us. So in this example, 4, -7 would be our x1, y1. And finally, m would represent the slope. So now we think about all the information that we were told. We were told that our line is going to pass through 4, -7, and that the slope of our line was going to be -3. So once again, our known point is our x1, y1. So we could label this as our x1, y1. And I wrote this in red because this information is the only information that you're going to be plugging into this equation. Students will often get mixed up as to how much needs to be plugged in, but all you need to plug in is your point and your slope. So for this part of the problem now, we're going to write the equation. We have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So now at this step we can make our substitution. But one thing I like to do is all the information that we need to plug in, I like to replace with a blank pair of parentheses. And now the reason why I like to replace the variables we're substituting with blank parentheses is because when students do make mistakes on these problems, they'll usually mess up when it comes to plugging in a negative, and they won't account for the right sign change. So by replacing the variables with parentheses, you avoid some of the sign errors that you'll come up with. So at this part now, we think about it. Y minus y1, our y1 is -7, so we could write -7 in the first set of parentheses. And now for m, we're going to replace m with -3 because this was the slope that we were given. And now finally, we're going to replace x1. Our x1 value is equal to +4. So we can replace x1 with +4. So now for the next line, we think y minus a -7. When we subtract negatives, that operation changes to addition. So we have y plus 7 equals, and now we could distribute the -3. And now -3 times x is -3x. And -3 times -4 is a +12. So now our answer, we want to find an equation of a line. Usually we want this line in the form of y equals mx plus b. So what this tells us is we have one more step. We need to just subtract 7 from both sides of this equation. And now 7 minus 7 cancels. And we have y equals -3x. And now 12 minus 7 is +5. So now we have our equation. And just to double check, since our line is in the form y equals mx plus b, we note that we do have a slope of -3 since this is our number in front of the x. And if we want to check that this point, 4, -7, is on this line, what we could do is we could plug in x equals 4 and y equals -7, and we should get a true equation that the left side equals the right hand side, which we do. Okay, well this is going to conclude this video on how to use the point-slope form equation. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that this was helpful.